evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Boys and girls. I'm really pleased to be here this evening. I think they're just a part of me that loves young people. And I cannot just imagine myself getting old. My name is Loretta Ogboro-Okor. Yes, he's right. My background is medicine, specifically obstetrics and gynecology. But these days I do so many things, I don't even know what I am anymore. So I've metamorphosed into doing, I studied teaching, I'm a trained teacher. I did public health and research, so I'm a researcher as well. I blog these days, so I run Loretta Reveals. But it is exciting to be here and speak to you people, and I hope we take something away today. And Amy gave me this very nice title. He said 21st Century Youth Challenges and Opportunities. So it's the 21st Century Youth. What's unique about being a youth? What's unique about being a youth in the 21st century? And then what are the peculiar challenges? And what are the opportunities? And how will we sort out these challenges? And now and again, I'll throw in real life experiences from my side. Can I have the next slide, please? Can't you just do enter? It doesn't? That's weird. Should. Anyway, the objectives of today, to understand who is a youth. Who do we think is a youth? Who can tell me who a youth is? Anybody? Yes.
A youth is not yet an adult, but just young people.
Not yet an adult, not a child. So somewhere in between. Young people, well done, well done. Anybody wants to modify that? Yes, yes, I can see one hand flickering.
I thought I said it was perfect.
Same. Okay, you're right. The United Nations tells us they have a strict definition because they have to collect statistics, and because in population determination you have to find out the subsets of different people. So they have defined it as people between the ages of 15 and 24. That is what the United Nations has said, and that's evidence-based. That's what they say. However, I beg to differ that definition, because whereas that is okay for exactness and that's okay for research and documenting things, I think a youth is a state of mind, more or less. True, there is that age demarcation, and that is what we have to talk about today, and all of us here fall into it. But it is not fixed. In life, there's nothing that is in a box. It is fluid. So you find out that there are some people who are over 24, and they are very youthful in their thoughts, in the way they do things, and in the way they act. And then you find some people who are 10 years old, but they're not children. They actually think and act like youths. So, whereas we will stick to that definition for statistical reasons and for defining certain things, I want us to look at it as a bit more, a bit beyond that age. There is nothing fluid in life, and we need to look at the true nature of this unique phase in life, the challenges of this phase, the practical solutions, and then ensure that everyone here takes away at least one ideal or one practical solution away, to apply to something. Next slide, please. So, if we say that a youth is someone between the age of 15 and 24, like the WHO states, what is peculiar? What is unique about people in that age subset?
The way they reason?
Yes, the way they reason. The way I reason now is not the way I reasoned when I was 15 or when I was 24. Do you want to know how old I am? Well, what I'm saying is, the way they look at things, the way they see life, but there's something explicitly unique you can't take away from that age group. It's the energy. There is so much energy at that age. My God, if you can only direct the energy at that age and channel it at that time, it just requires a bit of direction. We will go places. Seriously, we'll go places. Can I have the next slide? Because if you look at the people, they embark on a journey. It is the beginning. It's like there's a race. And that actually is the beginning. So you actually come from childhood, infancy childhood. The adolescent years actually merge. It merges with the teenage years, you know, and then it encompasses the youthful years. So if you are going on a journey of life and you are starting a race, when do you think you'll be most energetic?
At the start.
At the beginning. And that's what it is for all of us. There is so much energy. There is so much to take away. This phase is so unique. Next slide, and let's see what makes it really, really unique. What is about it? What is that thing that, as a youth, what makes you see life the way you see life? Recently, Douglas Okor, who happens to be my husband, was going to change a bulb in the house. And he put a ladder down, and he said, "Oh, Loretta, come and hold this ladder. I'm so scared." And then he climbed, and then he said, "Why am I so scared? I used to climb trees when I was growing up. I wasn't scared I would fall or break my leg. I wasn't worried about anything. What has changed?" And I started laughing. I said, "You know what has changed? You now have children. You're responsible for people. You just have to think twice." So in this age of being youths, there's one advantage we have. We have one, that energy. We have two, nobody to really, really concern yourself about apart from yourself. And that is good in itself. Because innately as human beings, we are selfish. It takes discipline and selflessness to become selfless. Okay, so you have to be disciplined and you have to be prepared to give something, discipline and sacrifice to become selfless. So at that age, all you have is yourself. All you have is me, myself, and I. And how do you use that energy that belongs to you? Next slide. How do you tackle it? What is peculiar about the 21st century youth and the challenges of that person? What is happening? I've decided to break the challenges into two. There are the internal challenges and there are the external challenges. The internal challenges are those things within you as at that age, as a youth, that could present themselves as challenges in the 21st century, not the 18th century. So what do we think are those internal challenges? Can anybody tell me what they think is an internal challenge? Something within you? Yeah. Okay, an external challenge. Can anybody tell me? Friends. Yes. What else?
Appearance.
What?
Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say friends.
Friends as well.
Appearance, the way you look.
Your parents.
Appearance, like the
Your
way you
appearance,
look.
the way you look. Okay, good. All right, let's see the next one. Let's see what. My slide is distorted a bit, but it's okay. So we have the internal challenges. These are the physical things. You have the physiological and anatomical changes. What do I mean? It is at that period that our bodies change. Girls are already having breast buds. There are things they're not understanding. There are questions they want answers to. Boys are developing facial acne. They are having a change in the voices. Everything is looking and feeling a bit weird. And they have so many questions, but very few answers. And then there is the psychological. So within you, you still have the psychological challenges, and that is the mental health, the self-esteem, and the confidence. They are all linked. You find out, they'll say, oh, it's the adolescent years, it's the youthful years. You find a child very withdrawn, always in the room, and not talking to anyone. People have problems with the perception of their own bodies, a lot of things going on in their head. All of these things are within. Many girls will go on their periods, they are erratic at that time. All of these things are happening within you, and they're all happening so fast. Boys wake up in the morning, they cannot understand what a wet dream is all about, and there's nobody to ask questions. Especially in African communities, we find these things difficult to discuss. We say, oh, they are not edifying thoughts. No, it's not about thoughts. It's the body changing. It's the signs. Somebody needs to discuss it with us. It's either your mom, your dad, your parents, your aunties, or your friends. But every youth does have a question, and it needs to be answered, and they need to be reassured. What is happening to you is entirely normal, and there is nothing ungodly about it. It's an era where the hormones are raging, but then they need to be taught that with God's grace, discipline, you can control all of those hormones and channel those energies in the right direction. And we need to worry about people's mental health as well, because if you don't talk out, if you don't speak about what is happening within you, most times if you internalize things, that is when depression sets in. And people have problems at that stage with self-esteem, self-confidence, and if we don't keep building it and reinforcing it, then the problem arises. Some people become societally stigmatized. We'll see that the external factors are put there: social factors, societal expectations, cultural factors, economic and financial factors. Now, the social factors we all know: peer pressure. Oh, my friends all have lovely skin, I want to have lovely skin. My friends are all wearing weaves, I need to wear weaves. Oh, I'm tired of my kinky African hair, I need to look a certain way. I need to please a group of girls in my class. Oh, I think I am just too much on the big side, I have to lose weight. Oh, everybody is laughing at me, they've said that my accent is different. I don't have money. Ex-father gives X 10,000 pounds every month, for instance. You see, all of these things happen to us at that time. The external factors cannot really be wholly separate from the internal factors. There's a kind of overlap. But when we know that these factors are there and we expect and understand them, then we are prepared for them. We know that they will come. In this 21st century, you also have things like more divorces. I mean, look back in ancient times, more marriages stood together or more couples stayed together because of different factors. Perhaps the females were less empowered, perhaps they just didn't have where to go. But today in the 21st century, there are more empowered females, and you have many children being raised by single parents. That in itself is also a challenge, because the Bible has said that we need both our parents to raise us. And even in science, there's evidence that children raised by both parents are a bit more stable. This is not to say it is the fault of those who find themselves being with single parents, but it's a challenge of the present day youth as well, that many of the marriages are breaking down. And then you have the economic and financial problems. So all of these actually merge. Next slide. They merge, and then you find that people are in a state where they think, oh, how do I go about this? What do I do? How do you manage the challenges of these youths? How do you manage the challenges of this group of people? And I put there and said that managing the challenges starts way before a child is born. And you see there the image of a parent and a child in the middle. So that means that even before we are born, our parents owed us the duty of having a vision as to how they want to raise their children at every stage of development. How do you want your adolescent child to be? How do you want your youth child to be? What kind of interaction do you want to have with them? Even in the dating period, even before we are conceived, when we are yet an ovum and a sperm, they should have that discussion, the kind of vision they have for what their children would do. It is their responsibility to put down for us a foundation that will guide us. What do I mean? I'm a practical example. When I was in school, I was really bullied earlier on in life. I grew up in Nigeria. And people would come to school, like 30 children, clapping after me. They would say, oh, rabbit teeth, because I had a protruding upper jaw from sucking my tongue all my life. Rabbit teeth, pussycat eyes, because I had this hazel kind of eyes then before I had children. And yellow pawpaw, so because my skin was lighter than most people's own. So you find like 30 children clapping and going along with me. Oh, pussycat eyes, yellow teeth, rabbit teeth, yellow pawpaw. It was really, really bad. When I get home, I tell my dad, and you know what my dad would say? Oh, you are so important. You mean 30 people left what they were doing and they were clapping and going after you? That makes you super important, my daughter. And he kept on doing that. He did it all through my adolescent years. He did it. He got to a stage I started believing him. It became a part of me. I wasn't bothered at all if anybody said anything negative about me, because he had turned it on its head in my head that I had to be super important for people to take out time and spend all their energy trying to ridicule me. So I became super confident. But he was able to do that because he already had a projection of how he wanted to raise his children. He already knew that he had to discuss with his children. He already knew that he had to ask me every day, how was school? How many of us or our parents ask, how was your day? What happened? How was school? So it behoves us here, well, if your parents are fantastic, then you should do it for your children as well. So you see that even before your own children come, you already have a pathway as to how you want to help them negotiate the challenges of youth. You can ask your child, oh, why are you moody today? And your child will talk to you. You know, if they say, oh, you're too big in school, you can put in programs with your child, work with your child, put in a program, we're going to lose weight now, we're going to do this together. And you see that the confidence come back to that child. Bang on. So we need to know that even before a child is born, we are putting in that effort. You don't go into a marriage, for one, thinking, oh, divorce is an option, especially for children of God. But yes, if push comes to shove, yes, why not? But what I'm saying is that you don't take the line of easiest resistance. And sometimes those are some of the things you are putting in place to manage the problems of the youth you are going to bear. Next slide. If we didn't have it done for us, then we should know that ideally these things should have been done. And we need to know that there is no end point in managing the challenges of the youths today. There is no one size fits all. What I would do for a child A youth A, is not what I would do for an adolescent B or an adolescent C. You need to individualize how you take care of each person. Practical example, growing up as an adolescent, as a youth, I was one of those girls who it looked like my breast was the only developing part of me. And I was so ashamed to even wear some clothes. You know,